Lion Air. You must have crafted numerous stories, both positive and negative, about Lion Air. Since its establishment, Lion Air has captivated the world's attention, portraying roles of both hero and anti-hero simultaneously. Let's assess whether Lion Air emerges as a hero or a villain. Lion Air was founded in October 1999 by Rusdi and Kuznan Kirana. They kicked off operations on June 30, 2000, with flights from Jakarta to Denpasar and Pontianak, using a leased Boeing 737-200. It was Indonesia's first low-cost airline. Lion Air, also known as PT Lion Mentari Airlines, is a budget airline from Indonesia. It's based in Jakarta and is the biggest privately owned airline in the country. In Southeast Asia, it's the second largest budget airline. Along with Wings Air and Batik Air, it forms the largest airline group in Indonesia. Lion Air flies both within Indonesia and to other countries like Singapore, the Philippines, Malaysia, Thailand, Australia, India, Japan, and Saudi Arabia. They also have charter flights to China, Hong Kong, South Korea, and Macau, with over 630 flights every day. Lion Air has made headlines by placing huge orders for airplanes. They once ordered 234 Airbus A320 jets for $24 billion, breaking records. In 2011, they made another big order, this time for 230 Boeing 737s, totaling $21.7 billion. That order was such a big deal that even Barack Obama, the President of the United States at the time, was there to witness the signing. In June 2017, Lion Air made a deal with Boeing to buy 50 737 MAX 10 passenger jets. The agreement was worth $624 billion. Lion Air is one of Boeing's top customers, just behind Southwest Airlines. As Lion Air is moving forward like a hero by setting records one after the other and shocking the world, there are some facts that give Lion Air a villain image. Let's check that too. Let's first check the accident history of Lion Air. In January 2002, Lion Air Flight 386, a Boeing 737-200, crashed during takeoff at Sultan Sharif Qasim II International Airport. The crash occurred due to incorrect flap configuration. Fortunately, all passengers and crew survived, but the aircraft was damaged beyond repair. This marked the first major incident involving Lion Air. On November 30, 2004, there was another incident involving Lion Air. Lion Air Flight 538, which was a McDonnell Douglas MD-82, crashed in Surakarta. Sadly, 25 people lost their lives in the accident. On March 4, 2006, Lion Air Flight 8987, a McDonnell Douglas MD-82, had an incident after landing at Wanda International Airport. During the landing, they used reverse thrust, even though the left thrust reverser wasn't working. This caused the plane to veer to the right and slide off the runway, coming to a stop around 7,000 feet from the runway's end. Thankfully, there were no fatalities, but the plane was seriously damaged and had to be written off later. On December 24, 2006, Lion Air Flight 792, a Boeing 737-400, had a rough landing. The plane came in with the flaps set wrong and wasn't properly lined up with the runway. Because of this, it landed hard and skidded along the runway. This caused the right main landing gear to break off, the left gear to stick through the wing, and the fuselage to get wrinkled up. Luckily, there were no deaths, but the plane was so damaged that it couldn't be used anymore. On November 2, 2010, there was an incident involving Lion Air Flight 7112, a Boeing 737-400 at Supadio Airport in Pontianak. The plane overshot the runway during landing and ended up resting on its belly, causing damage to its nose gear. Thankfully, all 174 passengers and crew were able to evacuate using the emergency slides, although there were a few injuries. On April 13, 2013, Lion Air Flight 904, a Boeing 737-800 flying from Bandung to Denpasar with 108 people on board, crashed into the water just short of the runway at Ngurah Rai International Airport while trying to land. The plane's fuselage broke into two parts upon impact. Fortunately, everyone on board, including passengers and crew, was evacuated safely, and there were no fatalities. On January 9, 2015, after the tragic crash of Indonesia AirAsia Flight 8501, the Transportation Ministry revoked the operating rights for 53 routes belonging to Lion Air and its subsidiaries. These routes were suspended because the airline wasn't authorized to fly them. Lion Air had the biggest portion of these routes among all the affected airlines, totaling 61 routes. On October 29, 2018, tragedy struck when Lion Air Flight 610, a Boeing 737 MAX 8, crashed into the Java Sea just 12 minutes after taking off from Jakarta. This devastating event resulted in the loss of all 189 people who were on board the aircraft. 181 passengers, 6 crew members, and 2 pilots were aboard Lion Air Flight JT610. Moments after takeoff, pilot Bhavya Suneja from India informed air traffic control of technical difficulties and requested to return to base, RTB. However, AirNav Indonesia, the agency overseeing air traffic control, reported that Suneja did not indicate an emergency. Flight data websites indicate that Lion Air Flight JT610 accelerated before suddenly descending moments before AirNav lost contact with the aircraft. The commercial airliner crashed into the Java Sea approximately 12 minutes after takeoff. The investigation into the Lion Air Flight 610 crash revealed a tragic sequence of events. A new software function in the flight control system, called the Maneuvering Characteristics Augmentation System, MCAS, caused the airplane to repeatedly nose down. Boeing had omitted information about MCAS from the airplane documentation, leaving the Lion Air pilots unaware of its existence or its potential effects. The angle of attack, AOA sensor, responsible for providing data to MCAS, was found to be miscalibrated, sending incorrect information to the system, indicating the aircraft was angled up too steeply when it wasn't. As a result, MCAS repeatedly pushed the nose down, despite no steep angle being present. This problem had occurred on the same aircraft during its previous flight, but the pilots managed to recover using standard procedures for such a situation. However, during the accident flight, the pilots didn't follow the proper checklist, allowing MCAS to remain active and continuously push the aircraft into a dangerous nose-down position until it tragically crashed into the water. In its 24-year existence, Lion Air has faced bans from flying to the United States and the European Union due to concerns about its safety record. With 15 serious incidents, including some fatal ones and most resulting in injuries and aircraft loss, between 2002 and the present day, the airline's safety reputation has been called into question. Additionally, its approach to safety, coupled with Indonesia's ineffective regulator, led to Lion Air and many other Indonesian airlines remaining banned until June 2016 when they passed a series of rigorous checks. It was even discovered that at one point, Lion Air operated over 40 routes without proper government permission or oversight. Even though the bans from the EU and US were lifted, safety concerns have persisted at Lion Air. It's likely that safety will be a major focus for air crash investigators in light of this latest tragedy. They'll also need to examine whether the airline's rapid expansion in recent years has led to management issues. You may be wondering why this one airline is being singled out for blame when there are many aircraft accidents worldwide involving other airlines. Let's explore a few more aspects to understand the situation better. In January 2012, the Transportation Ministry took action against Lion Air after discovering that some of its pilots and crew members were involved with crystal methamphetamine. This included incidents where pilots were found in possession of the drug. For example, in late 2011, Muhammad Nasri and two other co-pilots were arrested at a party in Tangerang, and in early 2012, a pilot was caught with crystal meth in Makassar. On February 4, 2012, another Lion Air pilot was arrested after testing positive for methamphetamine use through a urinalysis test, just hours before he was scheduled to fly the Surabaya-Makassar Balikpapan-Surabaya route. As a result of these incidents, the licenses of the pilots and crew were revoked. Do you think similar cases have occurred in other airlines, or have many other airline pilots been arrested like this? Then, why blame Lion Air only? Nonetheless, let's examine another point. In March 2019, former Indonesian transportation safety investigators and a former Lion Air employee claimed that Lion Air had attempted to bribe transportation safety officials, including crash investigators, in at least one case. This allegedly occurred with the knowledge of Edward Serrate, who is now the president-director of Lion Air. The reasons for labeling Lion Air as a villain don't end here either. In September 2019, Lion Air confirmed that personal data of around 35 million customers had been leaked, including passport details, home addresses, and phone numbers. Now, in your opinion, is Lion Air a hero or a villain? Whatever you think, don't forget to comment.